Most people settle their car accident claim for way less than it's worth, just because they don't know what to ask for or know when to push back. The adjuster sounds friendly. The offer feels decent, and you're tired of fighting. But leaving money on the table now could cost you big money down the road. I'm Mama Justice, a personal injury attorney in Mississippi, and I've spent 2 decades helping people get every dollar they're owed after a crash. In this video, I'm going to share 5 things that can seriously increase the value of your settlement. Stuff most folks never even think to do. Because when you understand what actually moves the needle in these cases, you're in a much stronger position to say no to lowball offers and walk away with what's fair. Let's start with the first secret, and honestly, it's the one that makes or breaks a Mississippi car accident injury settlement: documentation. I'm not just talking about a quick photo of your dented bumper or holding on to the police report. When it comes to doubling your settlement, thorough and detailed documentation is your very best weapon. Here's what I mean. After a car accident, adrenaline is high, and it's easy to forget small details. But those details are exactly what insurance companies look for. The more proof you can provide, the harder it is for them to push back or lowball your claim. So, what do? If you're physically able, use your phone. Take photos of everything, and I mean everything. Front, back, side shots of every car involved. The street signs, skid marks, broken glass, traffic lights, even the weather that day. If there's a stop sign twisted or a traffic sign that was malfunctioning, snap a picture. Mississippi is an at-fault state, which means the person who caused the crash is responsible for the damages. Visual evidence can tip the scales when fault is being decided or debated. But don't stop there. Write down what's happening in your own words as soon as possible while it's still fresh. Jot down how your body feels, even minor aches or pains. Those small injuries can turn into something bigger later on. A lot of clients tell me, I felt fine right after the accident, but the next day, my neck hurt so bad I could hardly turn my head. If you record those details early on, it's much easier to link them to the accident later. And finally, don't forget the bystanders. If someone saw the accident, politely ask them for their name and contact information. Independent witnesses can be the difference between your word against theirs and a clear, credible story. By having this evidence lined up, you force the insurance company to see you as a serious claimant, not someone they can just brush off with a quick lowball offer. This is the foundation for doubling your settlement. Now, let's talk about your health. This is where I see people at Mississippi lose out on thousands of dollars without even realizing it, just because they try to tough it out or think the pain's going to go away on its own. Here's the secret. Insurance companies look for gaps in medical treatment. If you don't get checked out right away, or if you skip appointments, they will use that against you. They'll argue that your injuries weren't serious, or worse, that you weren't even hurt at all. Even if you feel okay, get medical attention immediately right after the accident. Go to the emergency room, urgent care, or your family doctor. Whatever is available, let them know you were just in a car accident, and make sure everything is documented in your medical records. In Mississippi, this is absolutely critical because your entire injury claim will be measured against those records. It's not just about the first visit, though. Keep every follow-up appointment. Listen to your doctor's advice and do your physical therapy if it's prescribed. If you have to miss work, ask your doctor for a work release note and keep copies for your records. The more you follow your doctor's plan, the stronger the proof that your injuries are real, and that makes a bigger settlement for you. Let me tell you about a client in Jackson who thought his whiplash would heal on its own. He waited a week before going to the doctor, even though he was genuinely hurt. The insurance company cut his settlement offer in half, arguing he couldn't have been that badly injured if he waited so long. Don't make that mistake. Take care of yourself, and you'll protect your claim at the same time. Here's secret number 3, and this one surprises a lot of people. When the insurance adjuster calls, less is more. I know it feels natural to want to just explain everything that happened. A lot of Mississippians are polite and they think being cooperative will help. Unfortunately, the insurance company is not your friend. Everything you say can be used against you. Here's what happens. An adjuster will often call within hours or days of an accident. They sound friendly. They ask how you're doing. Sometimes they'll even tell you it's just a routine call so they can close out their file. What they're really doing is fishing for anything they can use to lower your settlement. If you say, "I'm feeling okay now," or "It's not that bad," they'll write that down and they'll use it to argue that your injuries aren't serious. If you tell them you're sorry or admit fault in any way, you're jeopardizing your claim, even if you were just being polite. In Mississippi, you have to be especially careful because we follow a pure comparative negligence rule. That means if you're even 10% at fault, your settlement gets reduced by that 10%. The more you say, the more chances you give them to shift blame on you. So what should you do? Be polite, but be firm. Only provide the basic information: your name, contact information, the time and place of the accident, and your insurance information. Do not give them a recorded statement. Do not discuss your injuries or how you feel. And do not agree to settle or sign anything without talking to a lawyer first. I once had a client in Hattiesburg who told the insurance company he might have hit his brakes a little too late. That one sentence chopped 20% off his settlement. If you're ever in doubt, tell them that you're consulting with an attorney and you'll get back to them. That's your right, and it can save you thousands. Know the value of your case. It's more than you think. Secret number 4 is where a lot of money is left on the table. Most people think a car accident settlement is just about getting your car fixed and paying for your ER visit, but it's so much more than that. In Mississippi, you're entitled to recover for all your damages, and that means all the ways the accident has affected your life. This includes your medical bills, past and future, lost wages if you missed work, pain and suffering, emotional distress, rehabilitation cost, travel expenses to medical appointments, and even loss of enjoyment if you can't do the things you used to love. Here's a real example. A client of mine from Gulfport hurt her back in a rear-end collision. She had medical bills and she missed work for about 3 weeks, but she also had to cancel her church choir performances, which was her biggest joy. We included that loss in her claim, and her settlement nearly doubled compared to what the insurance company had first offered. The insurance adjuster's first offer is almost never the true value of your case. They're betting you don't know what counts as damages in Mississippi and that you'll accept a quick check. Don't fall for it. Every impact on your life, big or small, has value. Make a list of every way the accident has changed your daily routine, your hobbies, your family time, your mental health, everything. Bring that to your lawyer and we can help you make sure nothing gets left out. This brings me to the 5th and biggest secret to doubling your car accident injury settlement in Mississippi. Don't try to go it alone. The insurance companies have a whole team of pros whose only job is to pay you as little as possible. When you have a lawyer who knows the ropes and has a track record of winning in Mississippi, the insurance company sees you differently, and they'll usually increase their offer, sometimes by a lot. Why? Because a good lawyer knows how to build your case with solid evidence, negotiate with confidence, and take it to trial if needed. We know the local courts, the jury tendencies, and the real values of cases in Jackson, Biloxi, Tupelo, all across the state. We know the insurance company's tricks, too, and we push back hard. Statistically, people who hire a personal injury attorney walk away with a much larger settlement, even after legal fees. Here's an example. I represented a young man from Meridian who had a lowball settlement offer of $6,000. His medical bills alone were $8,000. Once I got involved and started making calls, presenting his evidence, and lining up the expert witnesses, his final settlement was over $40,000. The insured didn't just want to risk losing more in court. And don't worry about those upfront costs. Most personal injury lawyers in Mississippi, myself included, only get paid if you win. So you have nothing to lose by getting legal help, but you could lose a lot if you try to fight it alone. You just learned the 5 secrets to double your car accident injury settlement in Mississippi. Document everything, get medical care right away, watch what you say to the insurance company, understand the true value of your case, and get a local lawyer to fight for you. But what if you've been in a truck accident? The stakes are even higher, and there are extra steps you need to take right away that most people and even some lawyers overlook. I'll go over all this in my next video. What should I do after being injured in a truck accident? I'll explain exactly what makes truck crashes so different, what evidence disappears fast, and which mistakes cost you the most. You need to know this before you talk to anyone from the trucking company or their insurance adjuster. Don't miss it. Your rights, your future could depend on it. Click over now to know what you should do after being injured in a truck accident. See you over there.